content in Black Ops 6 Zombies being lackluster as of late to say the least, it looks like this year in 2025 we may have some new updates to look forward to, with 3 brand new zombies maps, multiple limited time modes, new perks, new enemies, new field upgrades, and much more. So if like me you're feeling pretty underwhelmed with the release of Citadel Day More, it was good for a couple of days, but that map to me really doesn't have any substance to it. It's not what I expected. However, we can at least look forward to future content. So there was a huge mega thread put out by someone called Mogwai Network over on Twitter, where he gave a rundown of everything that's coming to COD Zombies in 2025. When it comes to new maps, we've just had DLC 1, which was Citadel Day More. We usually get 4 DLC maps as a part of a game's life cycle when it comes to zombies anyway. We've actually officially had it teased to us what DLC 2 is going to be, Dig Site. The codename for that could be found in the game files beforehand, but that has now been confirmed to us through Citadel's ending cutscene. We are going there to hunt down the Sentinel artifact. We have acquired the amulet, and Kraft told us that we need to now take it to the excavation site, which is literally just down the road from Citadel, still in Avalon. A lot of people were thinking, because they said in the ending cutscene that we are going to the excavation site, that we are going to be getting a remake or a remaster of Origins, which was also called Excavation Site 64, but that's not the case. It's a totally different map, and if you weren't aware, it's also a part of the Warzone map, so you can actually go into Warzone right now and compare it to a piece of intel that you can find in game which tells us this is the location of DLC 2, this is the dig site. The two match up, so at the very least a small portion of the Warzone map will be a part of the Dig Site Zombies map. Because it's so small, I would imagine this is just the starting area, and it'll either be expanded outwards or you'll be able to go underground, similar to Buried. And you've also got to bear in mind that we still have a long wait to go yet. Citadel Day More is relatively new still, it came out last month, so going off past games I would expect DLC 2 to come out perhaps early March, which leaves Trog about 2 months to continue working on it. And we know that a Zombies map, from the mouths of Trog themselves, takes about 3 months to make, so that adds up. It'll still be an early development, and we should see it early March, I reckon, maybe late February if you're lucky. Just before we continue though, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. If for some reason you've never heard of it, Surfshark develops humanized privacy and security solutions to safeguard your data and privacy online. It allows you to virtually travel the world, browse privately by encrypting your internet activity, blocking ads and malware that get in your way, along with much more. It's a VPN, and using a VPN is like wearing pants. All the important stuff stays private and secure when you step your foot outside. A VPN, or virtual private network, covers your whole online activity. Once your device connects to the internet, all the information is encrypted, basically blurred out of the way, and that way your online activity is hidden from all of the snoopers and trackers. There's so much it can do. One of the things I love, because I travel a lot, when I go to other countries, certain content on Netflix, for example, is blocked. I can't watch it. I love Breaking Bad, so I can't miss an episode of that, and I just wanted to watch the Hitman movie, but the country I went to had it blocked. However, with the help of Surfshark's VPN, it allows you to enjoy access to shows and movies that may not be available in the country that you're visiting. I also love how with Surfshark you can get past price discrimination, so you can save yourself money on flights, hotels, rentals, and regular everyday items, as prices often vary depending on your location. So for example, if you wanted to book a flight, if you're in Australia, you may actually find cheaper flights to South Africa by accessing the American Skyscanner's website via a VPN, saving me a lot of money. Surfshark has over 3,200 servers in 100 countries, and that number is constantly growing. And there is also Surfshark Antivirus, with powerful device protection that secures everything from your webcam to your files. Get yourself 24/7 security that you can set and then forget. So go ahead and get it for yourself. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning you can take your time, try out the service, and experience the whole Surfshark VPN potential. Try it for yourself via the link on screen or in the description. It really does offer an amazing and huge range of services, improving your online experience. So DLC 2 is Dig Site. It looks like DLC 3 is going to be Janice Towers, which are located just off in the distance in Liberty Falls. You can see them right here. According to the leaks, the wonder weapon on this map is likely going to be the Ray Gun Mark II. We've heard of the Mark II coming to Black Ops 6 for a long time now. I wasn't sure which map it was going to be introduced on. This seems the most likely. I also wasn't sure whether that was actually going to be the wonder weapon, or similar to the situation we saw in Buried, for example, where you could get the Ray Gun Mark II and the actual wonder weapon, which was the Paralyzer. So I was thinking maybe in Janice Towers you'll be able to get your hands on the Ray Gun Mark I, the Mark II, and a separate wonder weapon. But who knows, it could just be this. As far as the storyline goes, there is a radio you can find in Liberty Falls, which is from someone called Richtofen, who was the town's priest, who spoke about the towers.
Whoever may find this, I want to let it be known that this community summoned this wrath upon itself. This church was a hollow vessel. Our prayers dwindle into a quiet whisper. Children running rampant with no humility or respect. Their satanic music playing incessantly. All of them sat in front of their television sets, worshiping that false prophet, blocking out the divine life. Those towers were built to test our faith, and we had none to hold back the evil within them. Janice people filled my church, drank my wine, asked for forgiveness. I was overjoyed. My pride blinded me from seeing their true design. Liberty Falls was chosen to be the genesis of the end. I gaze upon this rapture with calm and serenity as I await the warm embrace of paradise.
He said those towers were built to test our faith, and we had none to hold back the evil within them. We don't know the exact purpose of these Project Janice Towers, what they were used for, why Richtofen had them constructed. To me it looks like, and this is just the first thing that comes to my mind when I see stuff like this, is they were constructed to make or harness energy. Could they perhaps have something to do with the Forsaken or the Dark Ether? We don't know, but it is interesting knowing that these towers are literally just down the road from the actual Liberty Falls map, which means maybe when we get to play here, if you're able to go up to the top of the towers, you'll be able to look out down into the town of Liberty Falls. But that looks to be DLC 3, and then DLC 4 is codenamed Mansion, which is the building we see in the Liberty Falls intro cutscene, the one where Richtofen is staying, which again is located in Liberty Falls. So we may end up having 3 zombies maps, Liberty Falls, Janice Towers, and the mansion, which take place within this area. This mansion was where Richtofen set up base. In Liberty Falls you can find a radio from Blanchard, who was his chief of security, who oversaw renovations on this mansion.
Chief of Security, John Blanchard. Inspected construction today. Project's really coming together, but I keep thinking about how my granddad wouldn't take me to Fort Washita when I was a kid. I wanted to do their bullshit ghost tour for Halloween. Sounded like dumb fun. Sorry, Johnny, that place is bad medicine. Granddad actually used those words, and he meant it. Now I'm starting to think the same thing might be true about the mansion. I'd like to believe Josiah Shem didn't know what he was doing when he had his flock build the place. If he did, then he got what he deserved. Shem's folly. Ain't that the truth? Every owner after him, captains of industry, gangsters, you name it. All their money and power couldn't save them. Shit like that doesn't just happen without other forces at work. Granddad knew that. But that's where the director wants to bunk down. And I can't talk him out of it. So my job's making sure he doesn't end up like everyone else who moved into the murder mansion. Lucky me.
There are a few things in here that Blanchard says which are worth noting down. The mansion itself was first constructed by someone called Josiah Shem, who by the sounds of it was a cult leader. He had his followers, his members of the occult build it, and then ever since then, weird shit started happening here, which was one of, if not the main reason, why Richtofen wanted to use it for his base of operations. Whatever Josiah Shem was truly doing here was Richtofen's reasoning for being here. And we also know in the basement of the building is where he was keeping SAM, the Synaptic Algorithm Module. AI based off Samantha Maxis's brain. Richtofen was interrogating this AI to try and extract information out of her. As to exactly what he wanted to know, we're not sure, but considering the real Samantha Maxis and Weaver killed his wife and son after failing to assassinate him, it wouldn't be far-fetched in assuming it has something to do with that. But there's clearly a lot more going on here with Richtofen that we don't know. We aren't aware of the full extent of Project Janice yet. We don't fully understand what it entails, other than time travel, attempting to recreate humans from a single sample of DNA, and the Sentinel artifact, which is an artifact that can be used to manipulate prime materia, which was the first matter to ever exist. So we've got bits and pieces of the story, but of course we're not going to know it all until we get DLC 2, 3, and 4. And according to these leaks, the wonder weapon in this mansion map is likely going to be the Wonder Waffen DG2, which would make sense because you can see it in the intro cutscene. Richtofen drops it, so there's a high chance that we're going to be able to pick it up and use it when we play here. So those are all of the future DLC maps we're going to be getting in 2025 for Black Ops 6. As for the limited time modes, what he's written down here is Squid Games, which we've already got. Turned may end up coming from Black Ops 2 Zombies. Grief may end up returning. I really hope it does because it was a great game mode. We've been told both of those are going to be coming back for quite a while now in Black Ops Cold War, Black Ops 4, but they never did. So I doubt we'll be seeing them in Black Ops 6, but who knows? Along with a classic mode, again, that was something we were told was going to be in BO6 before its release, but that never turned out to be the case. This classic mode would entail being able to play a more classic version of COD Zombies where you start off with a pistol, there is no loadouts, and you have to build your way up buying war weapons and box weapons. Perhaps the point system would be returned returned back to the OG style as well, and there would be no armor. Basically, the classic version of round-based zombies that you saw from World at War up until Black Ops Cold War. And then there's some more unnamed limited time modes coming as well. As far as new perks that we could be seeing in 2025, there is Double Tap, Mule Kick, Tombstone, and Death Perception. Now, the reason it's believed Double Tap and Mule Kick are coming back is because both of these perks can be seen on official merch for Black Ops 6. I think Mule Kick's very likely, Double Tap not so much. He also mentions Tombstone, however, due to comments that were made by the director Kevin Drew, where he said he knows Tombstone is the least liked perk in zombies. They added it in Cold War, no one liked it. He seems to understand that it's not a perk that people want to see, so I just can't see that one coming back, however he has listed it. And also, Death Perception, well, with the introduction of Vulture in Citadel Day More, because the two perks are relatively similar just with minor differences, I also don't see why they would now add Death Perception in BO6. It's one or the other. You either have Vulture or Death Perception, not both, because they're too similar to one another. So I can't see that one either. As far as new enemies, apparently the Mimics are returning. I can believe that, along with the Hellhounds. I would love to see the Hellhounds back as long as they aren't the Cold War version. Just the standard Hellhounds that we saw in Black Ops 1, for example, Kino, not some weird variants like the Plague Hounds or the ones in Alpha Omega, and the Mecha Claws. The final two new things we are going to be getting for zombies in 2025 are both field upgrades, which will be Shatter Blast and Frostblast, which is rumoured for Season 3. So there we go, that is everything that will be coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies in 2025. And then of course, at the end of the year, we have the brand new game, which is leaked to be Black Ops 7, that will contain the zombies, along with older versions of Nikolai Takio, Dempsey, and Richtofen. How true that is right now, I couldn't say, but it's something to be hopeful for, so there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.